All right, sound the bell. School's back in, and we are going to check out some of the craziest school stories of all time. I have my backpack. If I was going back to college, this would be my first day uniform. And there's no way I would get beat up. Not because people wouldn't try to beat me up, but because I know jujitsu and I will destroy them. We are looking at stories from Yoon Tunes, Wolfie Chew, Sweeto Tunes, Katsun, Sona, Draw Stuff YT. Man, a lot of these channels are channels you have asked me to watch, and I will be checking them out for the first time. So this is a very special video. We are going to watch some crazy school stories, and we're gonna talk about our own school stories, okay? Let me know your stories in the thing. Are you ready, my friends? Let's get started.
Have you ever had a friend you thought was fine and had no bad intentions, but down the line, they started doing stuff you just really didn't like? Well, this friend, she may have liked me a little too much. In middle school, I mainly had two friends I hung out with, Lisa and Sam. We always ate breakfast and lunch together at school. At one point in the school year, we met another girl who also eventually started sitting with us, named Clara. Clara shared the same interests as us. We loved drawing, anime, and writing. Since we got along, every single breakfast period we would sit together as a group in the same spot. At first, Clara seemed like a cool person. She definitely had some anger issues at times, though. Like, sometimes she would literally threaten to hit us if we didn't agree with her. Like, girl, what's wrong with you? We were never super close friends or anything. I mostly considered her as just a person.
An acquaintance.
Sat with us. At first.
The word is acquaintance. Do people still say acquaintance ever? They do? Okay. Yeah. An acquaintance, you know? I guess some people would say an NPC now. They would refer to people who are not their friends. A lot of the time as NPCs. But okay, Clara.
Person who sat with us. At first, she was fine. But then stuff started getting weird. I remember this one time I vented to my friends about some really personal stuff. I don't want to say what, because it's personal. So let's just say my hamster got ran over by a car. And then the next day, Clara comes up to me and says, "Hey Sona, you know how you vented about your hamster getting run over? Well, I wrote a Wattpad story."
No, what? What?
This girl wrote a Wattpad story based off of my personal vent. Who does that?
Oh
I had no comment. I didn't even look at it. I just stood there.
That's insane.
That whole thing, I began avoiding her. But that was
insane.
Nothing. Because Clara...
Okay, to me, that sounds like they just honestly are like programmed a little differently than most people. Which, hey, I'm programmed differently than most people, but I don't think she realizes how weird that is. I don't think she realizes it. I think she probably had good intentions, but even then, still, yeah, keep your distance if you're not comfortable. Well, also communicate that, but to me, I think she's just weird so far.
That whole thing, I began avoiding her, but that was nothing because Clara was not done doing weird stuff. In fact, she was just getting started. It was a normal morning in school and we were just getting done with breakfast. I think at this point, Lisa and Sam had already gone to class, so it was just me and Clara cleaning up. I got up, turned around, and then suddenly, Clara came up from behind me and grabbed my chest. My personal area. This girl, who I hardly knew and actively avoided, randomly decided it was a good idea to get up in my personal space and put her hands on me. I pushed her away and shot her.
Okay, well, Clara, all right. I can't defend you, Clara, because everyone knows not to do that. Bruh. The first thing is like, okay, you live in a fantasy land where writing fan fictions and showing them to the people they're about is a normal thing to do. You live in that world, but none of us live in the world where just doing that to a person with no communication of them wanting you to do that. Yeah, okay, never mind, I can't defend Clara. I can't do it.
I pushed her away in shock. Don't do that. And Clara was just standing there, giggling. She didn't even say sorry. Looking back, I wish I would have been like, but I didn't. I literally could not believe what just happened.
Yeah.
And I know you may be thinking, well, Sona, did you tell a teacher about what happened? Well, no. I didn't tell anyone at first. I was so embarrassed and confused. And I was just a kid. I was like 12. Oftentimes when something went wrong, I would just freeze up and not say anything. So I didn't. Clara kept sitting at the table with us, and I felt so uncomfortable around her. But like me, she was considered the awkward nerd at school no one wanted to be around. So I forced myself to be around her out of pity. Yay. At the end of my first class period, Clara would always be waiting by the door of my classroom.
No.
She would just stand by the door and just watch me. It was weird. I would always take as long as possible to get my things, hoping she would go away.
Oh man, that's awful. You can't live like that.
There's so much stuff to put away. I'm so slow.
You can't live like that.
Girl, get a hobby. But on this one particular day, I was not prepared. When I got out of class, at first I didn't see Clara, but a few steps down the hallway, she came out of nowhere like a sneak attack and kissed me.
What? What?
In a busy hallway with all of the students watching. I just stood there, petrified.
Clara, no. And listen, I think I can relate to Sona actually more here, because what I'm gathering from Sona here is that she's too nice. She doesn't know how to tell people, hey, go away, you're really weird, and I disagree with like everything you do, and I'm uncomfortable, etc. Sona is too nice and too empathetic to say that to a person and be mean. I have dealt with that so much, and as a result, I've like let people, you know, around me that I didn't even want around me, basically. So Sona, you gotta know when to be a little bit mean. And yeah, tell the teacher about something like that.
I just stood there, petrified. I didn't even know how to react. What, excuse me? The audacity of this girl. We're not letting this happen right now. Dude, I swear, everyone that was staring at us was just as confused as I was. I wanted to defend myself, like push her away or yell, but like always, I froze. Also, I forgot to say, this girl is way bigger and taller than me. I don't want to draw what she looked like because, yeah. Anyways, I was an ant compared to her, so I felt like I couldn't do anything to retaliate. And then she just walked to class, like nothing happened, and left me there, traumatized. No explanation at all.
Well,
Crazy.
So maybe she liked you.
I don't care. Not once have I ever shown any interest in her in any way or at all, because I constantly avoided her. I made it very clear I did not like her. Plus, 12-year-olds shouldn't be doing that stuff anyway. That's weird. I was so embarrassed, and honestly, I wanted to cry. After that, I finally told a teacher about what happened.
Good.
So this girl just forced a kiss on me, and the other day Yep. Okay.
What? Did she not even listen?
Something. I could tell the teacher did not care. As I expressed my problems, she played Candy Crush. Listen, if you don't put that phone down, I'm a Candy Crush. Ooh, piece of candy.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine? I feel like nowadays, I don't know if people have like iPhones at that age, but I feel like all it takes, if a teacher is not listening to your personal like issue that you are having, and they are playing Candy Crush during, it's their work hours, they're on the clock, they're being paid to be there, you know? All it takes, whip out your phone, record them playing Candy Crush during, and then film the clock. Listen, I'm not teaching people how to snitch here. I mean, maybe I accidentally am. I don't believe in snitching, but yeah, that teacher is not doing their job right, and they need to care about your serious personal issues that you have going on, because that's serious and that needs to be dealt with.
Anyways, it was not over. Yay.
No.
Every quarter, our middle school would hold a school dance in the gym room. So I went with the group, and yes, you guessed it, Clara came with us too. I thought, okay, well, surely the teachers had a talk with Clara, and she won't harass me anymore. Wrong! As we all made our way into the dance room, it was pretty dark. There was like a disco ball, but that was like the only light source. And apparently, Clara took this as an opportunity to be a creep. As we walked in, Clara came up from behind me and grabbed my cheeks. Why? I bolted it to the end of the dance room to get away from her. Girl, the audacity. What is wrong with this chick? I let my guard down because I thought the teachers talked to her or gave her a punishment or something, so she wouldn't do it again. Because, you know, she harassed me, but nope, apparently not. I sat on the floor for a while trying to collect my thoughts. Should I defend myself? Should I tell a teacher? As I was thinking all these things, Clara came up and sat down next to me.
Hey, maybe she sees you are clearly upset and is gonna apologize.
Oh no, when the person you're trying to avoid literally goes and sits next to you, is there a worse experience in life? I've been in this situation in the worst ways. When a person is like being totally messed up and inappropriate, and then you try to get away from them, and then they just go and sit next to you and start like talking to you. It's like, oh my gosh, no. That is when you go to a teacher. That is when you approach a teacher.
Hey, maybe she sees you are clearly upset and is gonna apologize. Maybe she finally understood what she did was wrong and surely won't do it again.
Nope, she didn't. I kid you not. She licked my face like she was a freaking dog.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, now this is just borderline insane. I had enough.
This is insane. This is not borderline insane. That'll take care of that, I guess.
I wish I did that, but I didn't. I completely froze. Because what is a 12-year-old supposed to do in that situation? And no one around us noticed? Or maybe they did and just didn't want to say anything because it was a weird sight. But there were several staff walking around, supervising the kids, but not us. The entire time was extremely uncomfortable and she eventually stopped, but either way, it happened. And she acted as if she did nothing wrong. And if you're wondering, yes, I brought it up to the teachers again the next day. I told them she was still harassing me. And then they said this. Oh yeah, well you told us a week ago? We were informed, but we hadn't yet talked to Clara. We've been busy, but we're working on it. What? Excuse me?
What?
After it was reported a week before, nothing was done. Nothing. Me getting harassed was so minuscule to them that they had completely forgot about it and didn't do anything.
Unreal.
I couldn't believe it. The adults, the one group of people who are supposed to protect me, cared the least. And even after I mentioned it twice, nothing was ever done.
Did you mention, okay, at that point, honestly, you should talk to the principal, I think. Because if your teacher is not taking it seriously, the principal will make sure that they take it seriously. That is the principal's job. That, honestly, to me, sounds like a situation that you need to have escalated to the principal. Or if you're not comfortable talking to the principal, you can talk to your parents and they will hopefully talk to the principal. But yes, I am so sorry that Sona went through this. This sounds really rough.
Nothing was ever done. Clara was never punished because she kept acting weird. Knowing that nothing was being done, I knew I had to take action. So I began ignoring her completely every time she came around me. And she did not like that at all.
Why have you been so rude to me? And
Yeah,
why
so
don't you
mean.
talk to me anymore?
You make me really uncomfortable and I just want you to leave me alone.
What? Excuse me? I'm nice to you.
way.
I didn't do anything.
You keep getting in my space and being weird, so stop.
I was just joking around. You're such a...
Get him, Sona.
bad
Don't
friend.
listen to the gaslighting. Don't listen to him.
And she proceeded to...
What did she call her?
You're such a bad friend.
And she proceeded to throw a fit in class, acting like she was the victim. No one in class really knew what she did, so I probably looked like a big jerk. But I didn't care. I was done letting her take advantage of me. After that, I think she finally left me alone for the most part.
Good.
Whenever she saw me in the halls, she would glare at me as if I betrayed her or something. Not my problem now. Okay, I hate to be that person, but I think because Clara was a girl, she got off easy. If a boy did the same thing as Clara did, 100%, without a doubt, there would have been an uproar. And the fact that it wasn't taken seriously just because we were both girls is crazy. At the end of the day, girls are just as capable of being creeps as guys. And it's clear there was a double standard. I know some people watching this may be thinking, Sona, why didn't you just say no? Well, just because I didn't say the word no, it doesn't equal consent.
No, because that doesn't apply to people like Sona who are super nice and don't like to say no to people. Sometimes you're put in a situation where it's hard to say no. And if you aren't comfortable saying no, then you're vulnerable and it's bad. It's bad. And I'm so sorry that Sona went through this, but I completely understand why she struggled to have this situation get taken care of, because it's hard and people don't really understand it. I get you, Sona. That's rough. I am so sorry.
Well, just because I didn't say the word no, it doesn't equal consent. Besides the fact, at the beginning, I told her to stop. Throughout this entire thing, I made it very clear how uncomfortable I was. Of course, it's best to speak up, but everyone handles these situations differently. Just like me, a lot of kids freeze up and don't know what to do because what's happening shouldn't be happening to begin with. So when someone shares their story, please understand why they don't always say no, because it's so much more complicated than that. When I got out of middle school and into high school, I applied to an alternative school, which also ensured I wouldn't have to deal with Clara ever again. And I got accepted, so yeah, I never saw her again, thankfully. If you guys have ever experienced something like this, just know you aren't alone. I know we can't always trust every single adult in our life to help us, and this story is proof of that, but I always encourage you to reach out to someone you trust if someone is crossing your boundaries.
I totally
it's not
agree.
okay. I have no idea where Clara is now or what she does, but I hope she's not a creep anymore and leaves people alone. With that being said, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll be back with more story time soon. Bye!
Alright, let's hopefully watch a slightly more uplifting story next.
Hi everyone, this is Wolfie Chu, and you know how in every school there's always at least one teacher that seems kind of weird or just really different from the others? Or those teachers that seem to either love you or hate you for no particular reason? My school
there's usually a
definitely
reason.
had a couple of teachers like this. I remember my old PE teacher. This person was someone who was completely in love with himself. He was pretty much the Gaston of the school. So...
I'll tell you exactly why. Because a lot of gym teachers are guys who wanted to be professional athletes who didn't get the opportunity, so they have a chip on their shoulder and they think that they're the man. I think that's most gym teachers, right? Most gym teachers wanted to be athletes. My dad was going to be a gym teacher originally. Could you imagine how different life would be? My dad was going to be a gym teacher, but then his dad pressured him to become an engineer instead. And he did that, and I don't know, I guess he's still happy with that, but my dad just wanted to be a gym teacher. My dad would have been the best gym teacher for real.
He was pretty much the Gaston of the school, so I'm just gonna call him that. He kept pictures of himself on the walls of his office, and talking about himself seemed to always be his favorite thing to do.
Wow.
There was one time where we had a lesson with him, and he had us all standing in a circle. Mr. Gaston walked into the middle of the circle to show us which stretches to do, and then all of a sudden he paused and did the thing where he licked his finger, put it on his leg, and went... Some people laughed, but most of us were just kind of weirded out.
Yeah, it is pretty weird to do.
There was one time where he took my class on a run around the streets outside of the school grounds. This was actually a super exciting thing for us because it meant that we could get out of the school for an hour, which back then was pretty much the best thing that could happen.
Oh, for sure. Listen, when you're in school, the greatest possible thing in the world is the experience of not being in school when you're supposed to be in school. I do not condone skipping class. I don't condone skipping class, but I condone having field trips and stuff, or having snow days in Canada when it snows too much, so they cancel the buses and then the school is canceled and you just get to be at home. Those days hit so much different than regular weekend days, you know? You feel me on that?
I didn't have snow days.
Oh, you didn't have snow days because you're from California. Okay, did your school at some point got canceled, right? A random day when school got canceled for something?
When there were fires.
When there were fires. So the opposite. You had, instead of a snow day, you had a fire day. I shouldn't be laughing about that.
One thing that I thought was weird, though, was that even though he was the PE teacher and all of us had to run, Mr. Gaston didn't run at all. He just rode along next to us on his motorcycle.
That's
while
hilarious.
What a boss.
What a boss.
I can only imagine how onlookers would have reacted to seeing this.
That's so funny. Gaston, my king.
Teacher. Just some guy who was yelling and chasing a bunch of school students on his bike. Then there was my old technology teacher. She actually kind of reminded me of Snape from Harry Potter. She never smiled and had short, permanently greasy hair that always stuck to her face. I always felt like teaching technology really wasn't the job she wanted. Aww. She really didn't seem interested in anything about it, and for some reason she always wore a lab coat, even though we were never in the lab. She even wore it on hot summer days. I'm pretty sure she didn't like me very much.
Maybe she had burns all over her arms.
Maybe the reason for that was because I'm a Gryffindor. Every time I showed up to her class, I felt like she was going to deduct points from my house. Every time I would finish a test, I'd always have extra time, so I thought I'd decorate the sides of the pages with little drawings while the rest of the class finished. Every time I got my results back from her, I always felt like my marks were a lot lower than what I expected.
I know that. Okay, I know that feeling. Okay, this is valid. Teachers can be very biased. Like teachers in their mind, if you do like a book report type thing, and like all year you've been doing kind of poorly, if a student who usually gets low marks suddenly does like a better paper than they usually do, the teacher's still gonna be biased and be like, oh no, they're not that smart. These are the marks they get. And I bet they will judge it more harshly than they do the person who always gets straight A's. I believe in that. I think there is bias with teachers in that way.
And looking back on this, I wonder if this was because of my little drawings. I also always felt like her eyes followed me around the room. Like she was watching my every move. And every time I looked up to see if she was watching, she would suddenly turn away. I did also feel like she might have just been misunderstood, though. There was this one time where she was trying to help someone in the class, and then this one girl started drawing on the back of her favorite lab coat with permanent marker without her noticing. Oh no. This made me feel really sad for her. I'll never be able to understand people who find it fun to do mean things like this to other people.
Boom.
Then there
Okay,
was
all
this
right,
one
all right. I like Wolfie Chew. I was on the fence because of the voice. But no, I can tell Wolfie Chew has a good heart. I like that she said that. I totally agree. I am strictly against being a big stupid meanie, okay? I am strongly anti big stupid meanie.
I'll never be able to understand people who find it fun to do mean things like this to other people.
Bars.
Then there was this one teacher who was easily the worst teacher I have ever had.
Oh.
I had just changed schools and I chose to be in one of her classes, although
Okay.
I had no idea what I was getting myself into. She
Okay.
seemed okay at first, but then I started to hear a lot of horror stories about her. Like there was
Like
this
what?
one guy in my year who used to take 2 classes with her, and apparently she bullied him so badly that he dropped out of both of these classes
Wow.
and changed his entire career path
What?
because of it. Just imagine, this guy could have had a completely different future if it hadn't been for this teacher.
True.
Anyways, I wasn't very good at this class, especially due to the fact that I had just enrolled at this new school and all of the students were expected to write in English. I had little experience writing in English as I'd just come from Spanish-speaking schools in the past.
Really? What?
So when the teacher saw that my work wasn't up to the standards she wanted, instead of pointing out my mistakes
Oh,
and
no.
helping me do a better job, she just got really angry at me.
Why?
This teacher was mean, and she made
Why?
it clear that she did not like me. A
That's
few weeks after I
terrible.
started at this school, a transfer student joined the class. Her English wasn't very good, so she was finding it a bit hard to keep up with the teacher's explanations. So I was sitting next to her trying to help her understand
no.
everything
And the teacher
when
got
the
mad.
teacher suddenly stormed over and started yelling at me for not paying attention in
no.
class. I'm the type of person who really can't handle people yelling at me, so I just started to cry. The people sitting next to me were trying to comfort me, but I'm not sure if anyone else is like this, but for some reason, whenever people try to comfort me when I'm crying,
It makes it worse?
makes me cry even more.
Aw.
The teacher just rolled her eyes and
Rolled
went
her
back
eyes.
to the lesson.
Okay, this teacher, this does make me sad. So Gaston at the beginning seemed a little crazy, very full of himself, bit of a nutcase, but at least it seemed like he probably was passionate about being a school teacher. This other teacher, like it seems like they don't actually want to be teaching kids and helping kids develop their future. Like if you are gonna be a school teacher, you should really care about like helping kids learn, because I mean that's literally your job. You have one job and it's to help kids learn. And if you aren't passionate about kids thriving, you should not be doing that job. There are plenty of other jobs you could be doing.
Then there was another time where she was looking at one of my assignments in class, and she suddenly called me over to her, and she started
is the
yelling
stinky
at
garbage?
me again because my work still just wasn't good enough. And then she says, "I really don't think this is the right class for you." And
Wow.
then, in front of the entire class, she tells me that she thinks that it would be better for me to just drop out.
Oh my
I was really
gosh.
embarrassed by this, and by that point, I really felt like I couldn't take being around this teacher any longer.
no.
It was just far too stressful. So, after just 2 months of being in this class, I dropped out. The weird
That's
thing
sad.
about this story, though, was that as soon as I dropped out of her class, she
Got
suddenly
happier.
started being really nice to me whenever I
What?
passed her in the hall.
What?
It was like she was a completely different person.
What?
And I never stopped being confused by her. I felt like at
You
any
had your
moment she
chance
was
to be
being
nice.
to me, she could suddenly just snap.
That teacher had her chance to be nice. You don't get to come crawling back now. You don't know what you got till it's gone, teacher. But no, I had one. This isn't the same story at all, but it is kind of embarrassing. I moved across Canada for grade 11. So to any Canadians watching, I lived in the Toronto area for most of my life. And then halfway through high school, I moved to the Calgary area. And when I moved to Calgary, I went to a high school that had a really good like film class. And the way way they did it was they had a grade 10 one and a grade 11 one. Now, I was in grade 11, so I had to take the grade 11 one. But they teach things so specifically there that they're like, oh, no, you have to take the grade 10 one. So the very first day of school, I just moved all the way across the country, all new people. I don't know anyone. I'm shy. I'm nervous. I get into this film class. They're reading the attendance. Robert? Yes? I haven't taught you before. Yeah, no, I just moved here from the other side of the country. Yeah, no, you can't take this class. What do you mean? Do you have any experience with film? I mean, yeah, I've been editing. I mean, literally, I've been posting videos on random YouTube channels for the last 4 years. But yeah, no, you can't take this class. You know what you can do? Why don't you take my grade 10 class? I'll talk to the principal. Go take the grade 10 class. You can't take this one. And I guess that was fine because what ended up happening was I was able to take that class and get grade 11 credits. And so it worked out. And I was the cool kid in class because I was the grade 11. But being called out like that on the first day of school at a new school, it was very awkward and I didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. We fired our lunch ladies. I have to see this one.
I think we all know how freaking great food is.
Yes.
Well, at least I do. And if someone messes with my food,
Schmite.
well, you're gonna have to fight me. And in fact, not just me. My 5th grade.
Okay.
So let me just talk about my 5th grade. I hate them. They were pesky, annoying, and they talked about me. And just like, I guess, some were okay.
Okay.
But like, most of them sucked. You don't understand. I just have such a hatred for them. But I guess even though we hate each other
Your
a
5th
lot-
grade, like when you were in 5th grade, or the way she says this, my 5th grade, it's like she's a teacher and she's saying that she taught a 5th grade class, but no. Is that a real way to word this? Am I crazy? I've never heard that before.
But I guess even though we hate each other a lot, we just have at least one thing in common.
Okay.
And it was that. Food is bae! That's it! That's all, guys!
Food
that's
is
it.
bae.
There you go.
That's
Mic
epic
drop.
Riz.
Oh, that's my phone. Haha.
That's
Actually,
true
come back. I'm
goated
not done. There's
Riz.
a lot more to say. And even though our food was bae, our freaking lunch ladies had to
We're
go
not
ruin
bae.
it all. Like, we are children trapped in a prison, and the only place for some kind of bliss was food.
Was food.
But
And you didn't have the
every
chocolate
time
milk!
my school buys lunch from them, I swear there are strands of hair or bugs in our food.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's not in their control. Bugs do whatever they want to do, and hair just falling whenever.
Hair do be like that.
You have no idea. So we as a class gathered hairnets for these lunch ladies, and they wore them for like, I don't know, like 3 days or so. But like after that, they didn't do anything.
Wait,
They just didn't wear
what?
them anymore. We personally tried to prevent any more hair in our food, but nope. They just
That's crazy. You have a hair problem in your school's food? I've never heard of that. You bought hair nets for the lunch ladies because you had a hair problem in your food? Oh my gosh. That's insane.
But nope, they just gotta let their hair fall in.
Oh
so
my
you know what
gosh.
we did? We were so pissed
They
that
chose
we actually
chaos.
gathered together and made signs to protest and actually
No.
started chanting and partly screaming, "Fire the lunch ladies!"
What?
I kind of admit, it's a little brutal.
That's
Later
crazy.
on, after a few days of protesting, the teachers tried to calm us down. They can't calm us down. And one of the lunch ladies actually came out of their little base and brought out a box of milk.
Oh, the milk. Okay.
And the lunch lady just
Where's the chocolate
announced,
milk?
"Free milk!" Do you see where this is going?
No hair in the milk,
obviously
right?
simple-minded children, fell into the hands of free things and swarmed her wanting free milk. Like, it's not like we just protested to get you all fired or anything.
Yeah.
Nah. I joined in, I took my milk, and headed back to my seat. And it's just I was about to open the
Can't
milk
get hair in the
carton, I
milk.
was just like, wait, why would she give us free milk after everything we've done?
To pacify you. No! Wait, what? No
I knew
way!
it! They were evil! They were trying to kill us all or
No
something!
way.
The milk was expired!
No
Like,
way.
what? And, oh gosh,
What?
I wish
What?
it went just a little bit longer, because my bully was chugging that milk carton down, and I just had to say out loud, "Guys, this milk is expired." And obviously,
my
after that, we
gosh.
just got more furious and protested even more.
What? This is an insane story. Listen, I think if it came out that lunch ladies intentionally poisoned an entire student population, I think those lunch ladies would go to jail, and that would be like genuinely one of the craziest, literally one of the craziest school stories that we would hear as an entire nation. That would be national headline. So I don't think it's likely. I think the lunch lunch ladies are just bad and they gave you expired milk. Or I guess there's also a world where it's like, oh, we can't sell this milk. It's starting to go bad. Let's just give it all away. Maybe it was something like that, which is incredibly stupid, but not as malicious, you know? Either way, this story's insane.
But the next day, we were so ready to begin our battle during lunch.
Yeah.
We had all the power-ups ready and extra posters.
The battle may be lost, but the war is just beginning.
Came in front of the cafeteria and hushed us like, hello, 5th graders. Excuse me, I'm here to tell you that...
Shush. I'm here to tell you, shush.
Children! Okay.
You're stupid.
I'm here to tell you that the lunch ladies were fired.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
We won!
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You don't understand how beautiful this moment is for me. I hated my 5th grade so much, but that time was the
You
only
banded together.
time we ever bonded together. Or at least
Bonded together, okay.
I did. I didn't talk much in 5th grade, but neither do I now.
Yay.
I have all this sound and burst of energy inside me, and now I'm just doing it in this video. So yeah, I wish I could talk more. Confidently.
I understand.
So, what did we all learn today? Well, I guess, even if you're a tiny child, if you work together, you have the power to do anything. Because the law says so. You can use your First Amendment, children. You have the power to. Huzzah.
Valid.
Hey, my first video.
It's her first video? Wait, what? No way. What? That's her first? No way. Oh my gosh, yeah. Wait, what? That's her first, like, animated story? We just watched her first anime. What's it like now? That's crazy. I would love to watch a new one. This is so cool. Oh my gosh. All right, my school lockdown 2 years ago. Let's go.
So, for some reason, my school had a lot of school lockdowns. Some were drills, but some were actual
real
threats
life.
to our school, saying it will explode or that they were armed.
Principal Nezu. Is that anything like Nezumi? Like muffins? Like rats? Nezu. Derived from Nezumi. Oh my goodness, muffins! Alright, I guess I have to talk to my Nezumis real quick.
Konnichiwa, chisai Nezumis. Konbanwa, muffin. Labi-san wa kawaii desu. Bingo bear wa kawaii desu.
What sweet little bears. Hello. Well, hello. How's it going, mister? How's it going?
These are my Nezumis. Mr. Bingo Bear. Hello, Mr. Bingo Bear. And hello, Mr. Labby Bear.
I actually am in the process of getting them ready to move into this cage with their boy Kuma here. Hello, Kuma. How's it going? Konnichiwa, Kuma-san. Konbanwa. Kuma-san wa kawaii desu. But the thing is, Kuma is a little bit bitey. I've never had a muffin that has ever had a biting problem, but Kuma kind of does. So I've kind of been waiting. Like, if I could show you, but I'm not going to.
But he's such a sweet boy. He's such a sweet boy, except for the silly nibbles. But as soon as he stops doing the silly nibbles, I will get his other brothers in there. And he is such a cute Nezumi-san. We love you, Kuma. Little dork, little goofy.
Sorry, let me get back to it.
So, for some reason, my school had a lot of school lockdowns. Some were drills, but some were actual threats to our school, saying it will explode or that they were armed. I remember the first time it happened, I was terrified. I just moved into a new school, and a few months later, there was a school lockdown. I was hoping it was just a drill, just hoping it wasn't a real threat. And after a while, we were instructed to go outside. And when I went out, there was a SWAT team all geared up. We walked to the recreation center near our school and eventually went home. We later found out it was fake, but we had no idea who did it. This happened several times later, and it just got to the point that a lot of people at my school just stopped taking it seriously. There was a threat.
Well, that's not good.
Another one of those meddling kids again. But as a school, we should take it seriously because who knows, one day, one of them could be real. This particular day, we had a school spirit day. It's kind of like a field day, but with school spirit, with each grade competing against each other. I signed up to be a banner decorator because I have art skills. And that's mostly what I'm good at. So around 9 a.m., I went to the cafeteria to design this huge banner for my grade. Me and my group were working on the banner, and it was turning out okay.
Okay.
They just told me to draw a mascot, and I was too shy to mention any other ideas. I was like, okay, and I went to draw it. I could have mentioned, screw this, yo, I have an idea. Guess what? We could be designing cute, pretty clothes and wearing something else other than this ugly yellow shirt, then have our mascot be, wow, cute, sparkly.
Yellow shirts are fun. I like yellow shirts.
Now, it was 10 a.m. and I was thinking, I have to go to the bathroom. I will after I finish. I'm almost done. And I will live to regret that so badly as if I didn't learn to go to the bathroom when I had to the first time.
Okay. Prediction time. Okay, she's waiting to go to the bathroom until after she's done the work. But there's going to be a lockdown, and then she can't go to the bathroom. They're going to be locked down for like an hour, and it'll be the most painful hour of her life because she has to go to the bathroom the whole time. That's my theory. Okay, do we have any cash in here? That's my bet. I'm putting 1,000 goober dollars on it.
And I will live to regret that so badly as if I didn't learn to go to the bathroom when I had to the first time. What is wrong with me? 10 minutes later, they announced another school lockdown, and I'm thinking,
oh no.
Another one? Really? I guess I'll go to the bathroom after this. I sit by a corner near a door, the outside of the cafeteria with a friend, and we just kind of chill, thinking, this should be over soon.
2 hours?
OMG, I gotta pee. Why is this happening now? What is going on out there? 2 hours.
2 hours?
Boy, I am dying. Goodbye. I need to go in the bathroom so badly.
Not 3 hours. There's no way.
I think I just convinced myself it wasn't real, so that way I would just stay calm about the situation. I've seen all this on the news, but no way this could actually happen in my school.
Was it 3 hours?
There's been so many pranks, like, it couldn't be real, right? My teachers and other students look really worried, and other students seem to have to go to the bathroom too. All of us are wondering if this is really real or not. My friend, I'm going to call her Ember. And I are just writing notes to each other. I have to go pee.
Valid.
My butt feels numb.
Valid.
I just realized almost everyone here are girls.
Valid.
I know, right? Is it bad that I keep staring at Queen's legs?
Yes.
Nah, I find it normal. We're just talking about girls. There is a time and place, lady.
Okay, was it real or not?
After a while, I start to hear an engine faintly outside. I look out the door's window, and there's a helicopter.
What?
It's fairly close to our school. This is what I was thinking.
Oh no.
Maybe this is real.
Now it's the news.
3 hours later. Yo, at this point, I feel like I'm gonna cry through my eyes because of how much I had to go to the bathroom, and a lot of other students are going through the same thing. We're even contemplating if we should just go into the trash can and do it. If this is a prank, I swear, whoever this is, I'ma pummel them. I'm just casually dying on the floor, and then all of a sudden, oh god, who the hell is that? Everyone on the floor, hands behind your head right now.
What?
Oh god, they actually have done
No.
Oh, I forgot to put it in my pocket. Maybe I could just, I said keep your hands behind your head.
Oh my gosh.
I guess I'm just gonna leave that there.
This is crazy.
Today and the days after today. They had us go out, and I'm just hobbling my way out, trying not to myself. So many students had to go to the bathroom, and the teacher asked if we could go to the bathroom too. No, you all need to get out now. And you know what? He has a good point. We all need to get out safely. We just didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, valid.
It was out there. We then had to walk all the way to the recreation center. A group of students like me are just hobbling our way there, just hoping we can make it there. It was a really weird bonding moment with everyone at my school who had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Okay, so this was real enough that the SWAT team came, but like, do we know if it was legit yet? It's been 3 hours. 3 hours. Do we have answers yet? Was this legit? I am not gonna say I've been in this situation, but I have actually been very close to a situation like this that was super real. Very dark story. I probably shouldn't tell it, but this is a very, very, very scary situation, and it's very real. And so that's why you do need to take lockdown seriously, because your safety is incredibly important. And while they can be annoying to go through the drills, the lockdown drills and fire drills and all this stuff, it may be annoying sometimes. There are real situations where people are in danger, and you need to take it seriously. Sometimes being safe is boring, okay? Sometimes being safe is boring, but that's the right thing to do, and this is one of those situations.
When we finally made it there was already a line for me. I rushed to get there
of course,
as
like at a
fast as I
concert.
possibly could without letting it out, and I scrambled my way into the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
I met
That's
up with
more
some
like
friends
it.
after, and we just chilled until we heard more about the incident. It turns out it was a prank. In fact, a huge prank.
Okay.
Apparently,
Successful
it wasn't
prank.
just our school. It was multiple schools around us that got these calls from
Really?
someone. Some said they were going to explode the place, or they have weapons in the school. We ended up going back to the school, and I got to talk to my children. They're underclassmen, a few years behind me, and for them, this was the first time they experienced this. They didn't have these prank lockdowns as I did before. And they were genuinely scared. And some were crying. And I remember how I felt the first time it happened. I was terrified. But it didn't last for that long because I was reassured fairly quickly. The fear they went through for those 4 hours must have been unimaginable.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what kind of kid thought it would be funny to do this, but they're full of crazy,
Yeah, they're crazy.
clearly, and need some discipline. I hope they were punished for their actions, but I don't know if they caught them or not. However, we were lucky it was only a prank. There are so many incidents like these, and it's honestly really terrifying.
Yeah.
Have you guys been in a school lockdown? Let me know in the comments.
You know what? I guess another story I have that's a little bit similar. There was a time when in my elementary school, you know, you have fire drills all the time. We had so many fire drills, and the teachers always knew when they were coming. And so it's like, okay, you know, everyone in a line, whatever. There was one time the fire alarm went off, and my teacher, you could tell, didn't know about it, because she immediately got up and was like in action, like ready to go. And then she said after, it's like, yeah, they didn't tell me we were gonna have a fire drill, so I actually thought there was a real fire. And my teacher was like, she handled it well, but inside she was tweaking. Inside she was crashing out inside, but she had to, you know, keep it locked down, no pun intended, so to not stress out the kids, because obviously if you are a teacher who loses your cool in situations like that, you shouldn't be a teacher, because a big part of your job is to make sure the kids feel comfortable and safe. So if you're crashing out, they're double crashing out. Okay, Yoontunes is amazing. Honestly, I'm subbing to Yoontunes. I really like her stuff.
Picture this. A scrawny teenage male who's still growing into his emo haircut. He's got good parents,
Growing
good morals.
into his emo
He
haircut.
is quite the goody two-shoes. But this is a teenager we're talking about, and way deep down, he's got a dark side. Teenage angst. That's right, this is a story about how I, a wholesome being in high school, got detention.
Wholesome being.
The only time I did. Before we get started, please remember to hit the subscribe button. About 70% of you guys are not subscribed. What the frick are you doing? Leave a like and a comment down below as well. It helps me out a bunch. Bit of backstory. My high school was pretty tame. Most of us were pretty respectful students, I'd say. There were a few bad
Pokemon
eggs,
graphics,
but,
okay.
well, I mean, this is high school. I think I remember hearing something about a student in our year getting really angry and throwing chairs around the classroom. He also threw a cardboard box at the fan,
This is
and
a
it
crazy
exploded
animation
and paper was
style.
flying everywhere. Man, I wish I was in that class. Like I mentioned before, though, I was a good kid. Sure, I could be a bit of a class clown now and then, you know, haha, look at me, woo, woo! But by George, if I got a warning from a teacher, I would sink back down in my shell and
You'd
be
straighten
like,
right up.
Yes, ma'am. I respected those old farts, but not for long. Here's where our story
I don't think you
begins.
respected them. He
Typical
called
day
them
at school.
farts.
Just absolutely bludging our way through classes. Then finally, it's recess. Starving for literally any kind of mental stimuli, I sprint for the handball courts. My friends and I used to love this game called handball. We played it every day. I'll talk about it more in a different video, but essentially it's a game where we all have our own square.
got
and you
hands,
gotta hit
it's
the
got
ball to each
balls.
other and try to get each other
You
out.
do the
I
math.
promise it was a lot more fun than it sounds. We were addicted. As fun as
Handball. Oh, is this also known as Foursquare? Because I played Foursquare as a kid, and that actually was pretty fun. I'm gonna keep it real. Are handball and Foursquare the same thing? Yes, handball is often another name for Foursquare. Okay, handball kinda lit though. Handball is just kind of a silly name though. I'm gonna keep it real. Babe, what did you call it in school? Handball or Foursquare?
Foursquare.
Foursquare. See, I'm from Canada. You're from California. We both called it Foursquare. Okay. Which is interesting because we are from opposite sides of this continent. So where's the weird patch that's calling it handball?
As fun as handball usually is for me, today I was not having a lot of fun. Mostly because all my friends decided it would be funny to target me and just get me out over and over again. Hilarious. I spent the entire game in the lowest square, which was dunce. Then all of a sudden, the bell rang and recess was over.
Sad.
Along with my hopes and dreams.
Sad.
I was miserable. And as I slowly walked to my next class, I felt the teen angst deep within me start to fester and grow. Then, without any warning, my least favorite teacher popped his head out of the library and said, "Jordan, tuck your shirt in. You look like a wild animal."
A wild animal?
My shirt was untucked, but so were my emotions. The teen angst was bubbling up. I couldn't control it any longer. I looked back at my teacher.
No,
and he
you.
looked at me. Oh, I tucked in my shirt. But in a fit of rage, I turned around, extended my right foot out, and I did the softest kick against the wall anyone's ever seen. That'll show him. My teacher was in shock. He called me back to him, and I stood there with an edgy look on my face.
I can't believe you've done
Detention, Mr. Sweeto. Pfft, whatever.
Detention?
I wasn't good anymore. But I was kind of scared. I had never had detention before.
For that?
Ever. I told my friends about it at lunch, and they started laughing. For detention that evening.
I'm gonna keep it real though, because I was like Jordan Sweeto as well in high school. I was kind of like, I wanted to be this cute little emo kid, whatever. I also listened to My Chemical Romance, and I also thought the only way to express my personality was through my hair. And I know you may be thinking, well, Robert, you've literally had 10,000 hairstyles on your channel. Clearly, you do express yourself with your hair, and to that I say, I just don't like looking the same all the time. I like constantly looking different. So that's all it is. And when you're experimenting with your hair, it's gonna be kind of emo sometimes because there's only so many options you can do. I'd have to go into like mohawk territory and stuff to experiment differently, and I don't think Lola would like that too much.
For detention that evening, I had to go back to the library. My teacher told me to go sit down and write a paragraph about why I feel sorry. It took me like 2 seconds. Now what? Just sit there quietly for 10 minutes, I don't know.
Sorry for kicking the wall.
So I crossed my arms and leaned back in my chair with a smile on my face. When I told my parents about it later that night, they were like, "What?" They were so confused because it was so out of character for me. Then all the teen angst subsided within me again, and I went back to normal. The end.
Wow, what an incredible tale of just untamed aggression. What crazy things is this man going to do next? Absolutely insane, reckless behavior. Can this man be tamed? I love your videos 15 minutes ago. Well, Fatima, the best one. Thanks. I'll give you a little like right there. By the way, my classmates, if you're enjoying this video, all of these videos were actually picked out by Lola. She made this list of videos for me to watch. And so I need you to thank her in the comments because she is the reason you are watching this video right now. But Lola also made other playlists of animations, and I want you to let me know if you want me to do more of Lola's collections of animations. Also, all of these animators, their links will all be in the description. I like these videos a lot, and these animators definitely deserve your support, so please check them out.
So prison. Wait.
What?
Wait a second. So school. I'm gonna be blunt. I absolutely hate it. Now, I understand the importance of learning. I mean, you're talking to the girl who actually likes math.
If you don't learn stuff, you ain't know stuff.
Anyway, like I said, learning is important, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
That's not what I hate about it. I hate the way school is run. For some reason, every school seems intent on making learning incredibly boring. which absolutely makes no sense.
Learning is
there are
boring
a ton of ways
sometimes.
you can make learning fun. Like in 8th grade, I took U.S. history, and my teacher was literally one of the best teachers I've ever
He
had.
literally
Not only
was born in 1812. Could you imagine if your history teacher was born in 1812? That'd be crazy. Well, I guess he wouldn't remember what happened in 1812. I'm just saying, if your teacher was like 200 years old and that was your history teacher, that would be lit.
Like in 8th grade, I took U.S. history, and my teacher was literally one of the best teachers I've ever had. Not only was her class fun, but she taught us in this weird way which actually helped us remember the material. Like instead of classwork and homework, we had projects to do each unit. Okay, that sounds super boring, but we usually worked on them in class and she made sure we got them done. We didn't even have due dates. She just taught us so well that we actually liked making the projects.
Nice.
Anyway, I made this project about Rhode Island and it was awesome. I didn't know such a seemingly irrelevant state could be so interesting. Rhode Island.
Irrelevant.
Cool. I'm sorry I missed
It's a whole state.
Anyway, what was I talking about? All right, hating school. So yeah, while some teachers are good, you can
Some are
also have
bad.
others that are, like one
Bad.
time we had science class and the teacher literally said, "Oh, I forgot we had class today. Y'all can just leave."
Wait, what?
That sounds like a horrendous
What does
lie,
that mean?
But I swear to God, this happened.
Don't you have class like every day? Did they forget what day it was? How do you... What? Is that what? It's your job. I'm sorry, teacher. Is there something else that you need to be doing during school hours that's more important? So sorry that we mixed up your schedule for you. I know you have an important shuffleboard game to get to. What the heck is that?
I forgot we had class today. Y'all can just leave. Okay, that sounds like a horrendous lie, but I swear to God this
No
happened.
cap.
You may be like, but
No cap.
Kat, that doesn't sound so bad. You got to skip class.
Oh, by the way, speaking of cap, I'm wearing the cap, which is a legendary item from my merch store. Also on the merch store, we got the Rats Are Friends shirt, iconic. The dumbest shirt of all time, iconic and extremely dumb. The Neo Mingus shirt, oh my gosh, that's legendary stuff. And the iconic muffin tee. We also have the mouse pad that like literally my mouse is always on at all times. At all times while I'm making videos or editing videos or anything, my mouse is on the mouse pad. So this is one of my favorite merch items I have ever made. All of this stuff is available on robertidk.net. Check it out, pick some stuff up, and it helps support the channel. A lot of my videos do get copyright claims, so it really does help if you check out the merch as well. Thank you, I love you.
I swear to God this happened. You may be like, but Kat, that doesn't sound so bad. You got to skip class. And you're right. It was awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Thank you, lazy teacher. But on every day she didn't forget about our class. She was awful.
The worst.
One time I asked her a question about the different kingdoms, because apparently there's a lot more than 5. And she dead
kingdoms?
straight laughed at me. Do you honestly think I can name all 17 of them? Are you serious?
Oh.
You're the science teacher?
that
Yeah,
was your job,
and you're
yeah.
an American. Can you name 17 presidents?
Oh!
Lincoln, Washington, Obama, Bush, the other
Oh!
Bush. She actually cut me off because she realized she was about to look so stupid when I was about to
17,
easily
that's a lot,
succeed in her
though.
challenge. The thing that gets me, though, is that she was a science teacher, and I asked her a science question
Yeah,
about
valid,
the
valid.
science that we were studying,
Valid.
and she didn't know the answer. She literally laughed at me because how dare I have an interest in her class. So yeah, she was an awful teacher. No idea
Yeah,
how she
sounds
was
bad.
hired. Also, did I mention students? Students are the worst. I don't understand why students, teenage boys in particular, hashtag not all boys though, constantly
Thank
annoy,
you.
harass, and bother the teacher and laugh about it like it's funny.
Oh, yeah, I never
cannot
cause problems with
imagine
teachers.
what it's like being a teacher, having to deal with obnoxious, disrespectful kids who do nothing but disrupt the class. It's not funny. You just
Yeah,
look like
not
a jerk.
all boys.
Don't get
I ain't
me
do that.
started on the popularity hierarchy of students either. See, the school I used to go to, I'm homeschooled now, was really small.
Wow.
But even we still had popular kids, aka the kids who did nothing but drink and smoke. That's right, I'm exposing y'all. We had this problem in my
Yeah,
class.
I did not do that.
But we still had a popularity hierarchy ran by a couple of people. And boy,
Yeah, that's
if
real.
they didn't like you, you could kiss all your friends goodbye. Which
Aw.
is exactly what happened to me in the last 6 months of school. It sucked. Literally one day during an hour-and-a-half free period, I had to sit by myself because nobody liked me. I just sat there and drew Hamilton and stuff, hoping it would make me feel better. Didn't work. But I'm not sad. No, I'm completely over it.
Honestly, school sucks in so many ways.
The school hierarchy, that's awful. I hate exclusion. I hate exclusion so much. I think when you're young and you're in school, sometimes people get caught up in like, yeah, the hierarchies of coolness in school. Because I think a lot of people are secretly insecure. And if they get a bit of power in their social dynamic, they want to protect that power. And so they kind of accidentally turn into a jerk because they don't know how else to navigate it. But you don't have to be like that. You can be cool and nice to everyone. Those are the best people. And if you want lifelong friends and lifelong respect from the people around you, being nice to everyone is the best thing you can do. There is nothing cooler than someone who gives everyone a chance. And that's what I tried to do when I was in school. I tried to be, and this is still how I am in life, I want to be cool with everybody. I like hanging out with people who are nothing like me. People who are really into a certain thing, like maybe they're really into hip hop, maybe they're really into RPG games, maybe they're really into anime, maybe they're really into tennis. You know, I always liked when I was in school hanging out with like every group, and you know, maybe I wasn't super close to any of them, but I was friends with all of them, and I could say that I had like 100 friends in school just because I was nice to everyone. And I think that's the way to do it personally. If you're just nice to everyone, at least some people will like you.
I'm completely over it. Honestly, school sucks in so many ways. If you feel like you're alone, trust me, there's people out there for you. My best friends are two girls in the grade above me who didn't care what other people thought about me, and someone I met on Tumblr. Shout out to you, CJ. They kept me sane during that awful period. Remember, high school may suck, but high school ends. All this petty drama and popularity that seems so important now won't matter as soon as you graduate, because no one in the real world cares about how popular you were in high school.
Exactly.
Just stay true to yourself. You got this. You will get through high school. You will survive, and you'll be glad you made it through.
Exactly. Yeah, no, honestly, like, I absolutely never think about that time in my life at this point. I really don't, because it's like, dude, I'm a totally different person now than how I was 5 years ago, let alone 10 or 15 or 20 or however many years, you know? So yeah, that is a very good point. Like, if you are in school right now and you are stressed about it, you don't think you fit in, you don't have the right friends, all that stuff, that's all gonna end and you won't be worried about that anymore. Try not to stress too much because school is temporary, memes are forever. Just like how watching this video was temporary, but watching my channel as a whole can be forever if you just watch another video. Here are 2 of my other videos. This is a video I picked out for you. I think you will like this video if you liked this video. So check that one out next. Or here's what YouTube thinks you'll like. Am I right or is the computer right? Either way, I'll see you in one of these videos. Click on it. Click on it. See ya! All the animators' links are in the description. Appreciate them. Love them. Subscribe to them. Peace!